Thank you very much, and it is indeed a pleasure and an honor to be among such distinguished presenters and even the audience that are actually watching us and listening us, sharing our knowledge and experience from different fields and different geographies in Africa. So good afternoon, everyone, once again. I hope you did enjoy your lunch and you will have some energy to not just to listen to me, but also to participate in this, what we want to be a discussion in the end of the presentation as such. So as Madame Presenter said, my name is Martina Medac. I am Head of Business Development and Strategy for 9PSB, which stands for 9 Payment Service Bank. I am in Nigeria, and given the years I have spent in Nigeria, I could say that I consider myself half Nigerian, if not more. Originally, I am from Croatia, but for the last over a decade, I've been working and focusing on different industries and niche and work in Africa, in West Africa and Nigeria in particular. So without further ado, let me start my presentation for today and what I want to share with you. It is basically the focus will be on what 9PSB is doing differently, or how we are adding value actually to innovate payments to help financial inclusion, to achieve the goal of financial inclusion in Nigeria. I will give also a more insights into the market itself. So you will see why it is such a hot topic in Nigeria after also over a decade of focusing on that one. I hope my slides are moving. Yes, so we are going to, as I said, talk about financial inclusion and innovations that we are bringing in technology and how to address this hot topic in Nigeria. So to give a bit of overview of the market, and when we are talking about Africa, Nigeria always stands out either as being a country and an economy of its own, and being the largest population on the continent. It certainly has its peculiarities when it comes to any industry, and in particular financial services. So still Nigerian economy is and has been so historically cash driven. Why is that very important factor and consideration to take? Is because, of course, the progress of every economy and every citizen as such, as its component, depends on how well the financial industry is developed, and which other payment channels and options and system it has in place. As such, Central Bank of Nigeria has recently issued even a policy or guidelines or and framework actually for change of currency banknotes, denominations of Nigerian naira of the amounts of 200, 500 and 1,000 naira, which starts in December and will last till January 31st next year. And given the fact that there is almost 50 trillion naira in cash in circulation in Nigeria, you can just imagine how big of a challenge that is. And that is why it is a big focus and importance that the financial system develops as such to embrace new payment technologies. So the problem and why it hasn't been developing at the pace that the CBN and everyone wants is basically there is a multitude of or an array of different reasons in the background why it is such a problem in Nigeria. As I mentioned, it is the most populous country on the continent, and lack of infrastructure as such is basically one of the major limitations for people to have access to financial services. So not to portray Nigeria as so laid back in terms of access to financial services, there are some of the foremost payment systems in Africa that have started in Nigeria. And among the most important platforms and most important systems that help and that contribute to the overall development of the financial systems is definitely an instant payment, NIPS instant payment, or NIP for short, that has been in place in Nigeria for over a decade. So we have a very sophisticated and developed interbank transfer system, and as such that is one of the reasons maybe why the mobile money as a concept has not been deployed in Nigeria as such, because we already have a high level of interoperability between the stakeholders in the market. So the interoperability as such has not been an issue so much, but as I mentioned before, it is mostly lack of infrastructure. Now to 9PSB, and first of all, who are we, and what is the reason of introducing a new category of licenses in banking system in Nigeria. So being the foremost payment service bank in Nigeria, 9PSB has been licensed for over slightly over 2 years to perform banking services, and we are operational almost 2 years. This end of this month will mark 2 years of our operations in Nigeria as such. So the major objective of CBN, when CBN came up with the framework of introducing payment service banks into Nigerian landscape, was to actually assist and help and drive basically the financial inclusion as such, leveraging on the digital technology. And again, why is that so important? As I mentioned, there is still a huge amount of people who are financially excluded from the system. As such, among all these things that we are mandated to do, the most important is that we need to have at least 25% of our operations in rural areas, in unbanked, unserved, underserved areas. And why that should not stay just, you know, a policy on paper. It is indeed a challenge, you know, for people to travel, or not to have access, but they need to travel or somehow find a way to access a bank or any other financial institutions, which can be dozens of miles away from them. And again, among all the things and how we are addressing that, the underlying factor is the digital technology. So we are a technology-driven bank that are putting certain innovations into place, and as such redefining the user journey regardless of the place or the state of your financial journey where you are today. To also just give a little bit more information on this topic of financial inclusion, Again, that one has started also over a decade with different financial policies. So first one was the launch of Nigerian National Financial Inclusion Strategy in 2012, which had a goal to have at least 80% of Nigerian adult population financially included by the year of 2020. Today we are in 2022, and I'll soon give you the numbers where we are on that journey. But even from my slide, you can see that we have shifted the goalpost towards 2024 to have 95% of Nigeria's population financially included. Over the years, there have been different policies and activities from all the stakeholders that have contributed to that journey. However, today, as I mentioned, the numbers are not very favorable when it comes to financial inclusion. So as of today, we are talking about almost half of the population being formally excluded from the financial system. And as I said, it is the basis and the foundations for a well-being of any individual, for the growth of economy, and that is why it is such an important topic. So while we have about 50% formally included, there is about 13 to 14% of population that are using some informal financial services. But if we add them to the completely financially excluded, we are talking about, as I said, 50% of the population. And for those who don't know, although I think we are all aware, the population of Nigeria is about 220 million as we speak, and about half of that number is the adult population. So we are talking about huge numbers, which are huge opportunities in the end. Here is a bit of a structure of the financially excluded. I mean, depending on the geography, there is a huge contribution of financially excluded population in the north. There is also a gap between men and women, which is about 8% at the moment. However, as I said, it makes at the same time an opportunity for not just the industry to make some steps forward to achieve that goal, but also for the population in general. So what are the indicators or the limitations when it comes to financially inclusion, and why are people actually financially excluded still? So the usage of financial product and services ties very closely to financial literacy, and as such, many of the people, much of the population has not have had that access to be able to grasp and to have enough information to use that. But as I mentioned before as well, apart from the affordability, the access or the lack of infrastructure is basically one of the major limitations or stumbling points that prevent us from achieving that goal. There is as well a very big and important field that we need to tackle, and that is a call actually for all the stakeholders in the industry, from fintech companies to deposit money banks to every one of us, and that is to work on the products for the unbanked. So while we witness so many different applications that are coming almost on daily basis, not just in Nigeria, but across the globe and across Africa for different target groups. It is very often that those new products target again, mostly already financially included and not speaking to the people that are out there still not having access to financial services. So current payment channels, we are all aware of those and which ones are available. So many of the new products and many of the products even currently in market are using, as I mentioned, technology and leveraging on technology, in particular mobile technology and internet penetration to bring financial services to those who don't have access. So when it comes to 9PSB, our banking services are being offered through a mix of offline and digital channels. Physical channels include agent network and agency banking as such, and that is our retail arm of our business, while offline retail arm, while the digital channels include access to financial services through mobile app, through internet banking and USSD. Nothing so innovative so far because we are all using that. But the point of being innovative is to have that those same channels that are available to all of us and reimagine them, redesign them to speak them to the specific target group. In this case, financially excluded and unserved and underserved. When it comes to our mobile mobile application, which is called Bank Naija. So we are banking on a mission to bank Naija and all of them. What is very important for us is that we have designed it as being a bank agnostic, or being agnostic when it comes to any of the parameters that influence your current lifestyle and your current stage in life where you are. So no matter where you are geographically, no matter where you are on your financial inclusion journey, or which network you are using, a telco network, our products are suitable and accessible to you. Even if you are a customer to other bank, you can still use our mobile app to onboard and to use payment services. And that is, something that is very, very specific and very, very innovative in a sense of using existing parameters, so your mobile number or your date of birth, in order to perform the onboarding and later usage. So we are all aware that there are certain KYC limitations when it comes to, of course, onboarding of customers. There are regulations that we need to follow and we still need to follow. But in order to simplify that process, we are using something that people already have, whether it's their mobile number, whether it's their date of birth, biometrics, and so on. And we are leveraging technology to simplify that process. And that is something that we are seeing as a great opportunity and actually a great success when it comes to people using 9PSB services. So again, there are different channels that we are offering our services through, and apart from the mobile app, there is also the USSD code. Having still quite a high penetration of feature phones, it is a very important channel for people to use. And what we have done also through USSD channel is the same concept as we did for our mobile app, which is again being agnostic. And as I said, being either bank agnostic or telco agnostic, you can access our services from any of the networks. And again, when it comes to the onboarding with USSD code, a very, very streamlined and simplified process, which allows you to complete the whole onboarding journey within less than 2 minutes. And we all know even that USSD is not a channel that can be open for a long period of time. It is something, again, that where we are leveraging technology in order to address those pain points that the stakeholders have been seeing so far in the industry, and maybe we're not being able to resolve them. And especially now when we are doing a combination of offline channels and online channel, in this particular case, USSD and our agent banking, it is a great success that people are actually able to use such a simple channel to perform any of the transactions that they want and have access to those products that I mentioned that are designed for the unbanked. As such, it has been a great success to leverage on different agency banking systems, not just for the agents of 9PSB, but again, even in our offline channels, we are focusing on being agnostic in terms of wherever you are and whichever agent you are approaching from even different other super agent partners, you can perform transactions and have access to services of 9PSB. Of course, onboarding as such is only a only the beginning of the journey for any users, because what we often like to emphasize in 9PSB is that financial inclusion is not about opening a bank account only and then not being able to use it or not being able to have access to different services, products and services that you need. So this is only the means to the final goal, which is basically to provide the whole suite of products and services to those that are unbanked. Because we are talking here oftentimes about people who don't have, who are not registered anywhere, who are practically invisible to the system. And as such, if you are a market woman or a farmer somewhere and you want to maybe access one day some financial credits or microloans and so on, it is very, very difficult to do so if you don't have any previous record. So as such, 9PSB has, as I mentioned, been leveraging technology in order to simplify that process of bringing people into the system and then opening up that system for other stakeholders to bring their products and services for the that target market. So I encourage everyone to check. If you are from Nigeria, you can access our services through USSD, or go to Play Store and download our mobile app, Bank Naija. And as such, you can see how easy, seamless the process is. And in the end, as I mentioned, it's only a part of the journey, or the beginning of the journey. As such, we are leveraging not just on technology, but also on partnerships in order to be aligned and to have covered everything under the regulations. We leverage as well on the partnerships with the central bank, working on the financial inclusion activities and different other strategies that they are driving. But we also partner with many other stakeholders, whether it is from financial industry, so many fintech companies that are retailing our products and services, our banking as a service platform, whether it's telcos, whether it's large corporations that have a retail network across the country that can then address altogether those infrastructure challenges that I spoke about. And as such, what is our focus? I already mentioned all of these pillars that we are having in our focus as an organization. The one that I just mentioned and haven't talked so much about is definitely a financial literacy programs that we are driving again in a combination through online and offline channels in order for people to have access to the information, which is again the basis, the foundation for them to start using for the adoption of different other products and services. The infrastructure, as I mentioned, very important and key factor, which we are solving through partnerships with different other companies in Nigeria, and all that on our journey to actually financially include more people as we go into next year and as we progress in this decade. Again, to finish on why, again, it is of a great importance to work on that noble cause, is that it is the basis and the foundation of the economy, of the nation's prosperity and wealth, and of course, each individual one. And as such, we are also very passionate about that social objective and driving different projects for empowerment of women, of youth, and many other vulnerable groups in Nigeria. So with this, I'm finishing my presentation as such. Thank you very much. I hope I'm on time. And I guess if you still have some time, if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause.